Hello students, in the last lecture of Fundamentals of PLC, we have seen what is PLC, the definition of PLC according to NEMA, then block diagram and its description. In this lecture, we are going to see the memory map of PLC, then what is PLC scan cycle, types of PLC, and various input-output devices that are used in association with PLC. So typical PLC memory utilization map is shown here. It contains 5 types of memories: user memory, then data memory, IO status memory, system memory and executive memory. The user memory, which is basically RAM or EEPROM or EEPROM, so it is used to store the instructions or program that is given by the user. The next is data memory. It is of type RAM and the data is stored. The data which is provided by the program is stored in the data memory. Next is IO status memory. It is also RAM type of memory. So in the IO status memory, the input output devices status is stored. So status will be either true or false. Okay, that is either on or off, and that status is stored in IO status memory. Next is system memory. In the system memory, the operating system related to that PLC is stored. This operating system is dependent on the make of the PLC. Next is executive memory. So in this memory, actual data or input output status of the program is stored when the program is in execution mode, when the program is in running mode, and this executive memory is a read-only memory. PLC scan cycle. The PLC scan cycle consists of 4 steps: read inputs, then execute program, diagnostics and communication, and update outputs. So see, in the read inputs, the input from the input devices connected to the PLC will be read. Okay, then execute the program. It will execute the program, that is run the program. And in the third step, that is diagnostics and communication, so whether the program is having errors, that will be displayed in the diagnostic mode. And in the communication mode, whenever the program is error free, the status of output will be sent to the output devices or output status table in this step. And update outputs step will actually update the output devices, actually update the status of output devices depending on the result of the executed program. So either on or off will be the status of output devices. So by definition, the scan cycle is the cycle of which the PLC gathers inputs, runs your PLC program, and then updates the output. This will take some amount of time, and this time is often measured in milliseconds. The amount of time it takes for the PLC to make one scan cycle is called as scan time of the PLC. So there are 3 types of PLCs depending on its size: small PLC, medium PLC and large PLC. The small PLC covers units with up to 128 IOs and memories up to 2 kilobytes. Then these PLCs are capable of providing simple to advanced levels or machine controls. Then medium PLC. It has up to 2048 IOs and memory up to 32 kilobyte. Large PLC. The most sophisticated units of the PLC family is large PLC. They have up to 8192 IOs and memories up to 750 kilobytes. Large PLC can control individual production processes or the entire plant. Small PLCs are used for small applications such as projects for the students, then small applications such as drilling. Medium PLCs are used for the moderate applications, while large PLCs are used for the industry purpose. So PLC classification can also be done on the basis as fixed PLC and modular PLC. A fixed PLC has its components such as input section, CPU, its associated memory, power supply, output section built into one self-contained unit. Then all input and output terminals are built into the PLC package and are fixed, not removable. Fixed I/O. So the fixed PLC is having fixed input output. The typically small PLC is the fixed PLC. It comes in one package with no separate removable units. All the units are combined together in the small package. Then the processor and input output are packaged together. It is lower in cost, but there is no much flexibility for this fixed PLC. So you can see the fixed PLC in the diagram. It is having processor, input interface and output interface. The input devices are connected to the input interface and they are driven by common power bus. And then output devices are also connected to the output interface. The three output devices connected to the PLC are shown in the diagram. The next is modular PLC. The modular PLC, as its name indicates, it comes in modules, separate modules or separate pieces. So it can be purchased piece by piece. So it will be having either 2 or 3 power supplies. You can choose the power supply required from that 2 or 3 power supplies. Then there will be a handful of different processors, that is CPUs. You can choose one from that. Then many separate input and output cards or modules, and selection of assemblies called as racks, chassis or base plates to hold all these pieces together. Okay, so the racks or chassis is the assembly in which these input output cards or modules as well as CPU is fitted. So we have to purchase these modules or pieces separately and then mount on the chassis or rack. So here is the diagram of modular PLC. It contains the power supply, then processor module, input module, output module. So this is the rack on which the input and output modules are fixed. Power supply is also fixed on that. Then processor is fixed on the processor module after purchasing it. It is divided by compartments into which separate modules can be plugged. So this feature greatly increases your options and the unit's flexibility. You can choose from all the modules available and then mix them in any way you desire. The medium PLCs and large PLCs are generally modular PLCs, while small PLCs are fixed PLCs. When a module is fitted into the rack, it makes an electrical connection with a series of contacts and it is called as back plane. The back plane is located at the rear part of the rack. Okay, you can see it in the diagram. Selection criteria of PLC. To determine the most suitable PLC to be used in the automation task, there are several basic considerations to be made. Necessary input-output capacity, types of I/O required, size of memory required, speed and power required of the CPU and instruction set, then manufacturer's support and backup. PC versus PLC. So here are some parameters to differentiate between the PLC system and personal computer system. So price per function for the PLC system is low and for the computer system the price is high. Physical size of PLC system is very compact and that of computer system is fairly compact. Operating speed of PLC is faster than the computer system as it is dedicated to one task only, but the computer system is operating multiple tasks, so it is fairly fast, not so fast as PLC. Electrical noise immunity of PLC system is good and that of computer system is quite good, that is better than that of the PLC system. Installation of PLC system is simple to program and we can easily install it, while the installation of programming extremely time consuming for the computer system. PLC system is capable of complicated operations. Computer system is also capable of the complicated operations. Ease of changing functions in PLC system is very simple and quite simple in the computer system. Ease of maintenance is good in PLC system. You can troubleshoot few standard cards and make the PLC operate. While in computer system, ease of maintenance is poor since it contains various custom boards and you have to troubleshoot all that boards. Then we will see the input modules of PLC. Input modules serve the link between field devices and CPU of the PLC. So field devices are actual input devices. So input module is intermediate between the field devices and CPU of PLC. So it interconnects the field devices with the CPU. Each input module has a terminal block for attaching input wiring from each individual field input device. Typically, input modules have either 8, 16 or 32 input terminals. The main function of an input module is to take the field device input signal, then convert it into the signal level that the CPU can work with, then electrically isolate it and send the signal by the way of backplane board to the CPU. See here input module connections. These input devices are wired to the input module according to the manufacturer's labeling scheme. So on the PLC, there will be labels where to connect, as you can see in the diagram, and at that particular place, at that particular point, you have to connect the particular input device. Then here are some types of input devices. First is mechanical switch. A mechanical switch generates an on-off signal or signals as a result of some mechanical input causing the switch to open or close. Such a switch might be used to indicate the presence of workpiece on the machining table, then the workpiece pressing against the switch and so closing it. Then next type of input device is proximity switches. Proximity switches are used to detect the presence of an item without making actual contact with it. There are number of forms of such switches, some being suitable for the metallic objects. The eddy current type of proximity switch has a coil that is energized by a constant alternating current and produces a constant alternating magnetic field. When a metallic object is close to it, the eddy currents are induced in it. The next type of input device is photoelectric sensor and switches, and some of the examples are LED, photodiode, phototransistor. The photoelectric switch devices can either operate as transmittive type, in which object being detected breaks a beam of light, usually infrared radiation, and stops it reaching the detector, which shows a U-shaped form in which the object breaks the light beam, or reflective types in which the object being detected reflects the beam of light onto the detector. Next type of input device is encoder. So the types of encoders are absolute encoder, then incremental encoder. The term encoder is used for a device that provides a digital output as a result of angular or linear displacement. An incremental encoder detects changes in angular or linear displacement from the same datum position, while in absolute encoder it gives the actual angular or linear position. Next category of input devices is temperature sensors, and the examples of temperature sensors are RTD, thermistor, thermocouple. A simple form of temperature sensor that can be used to provide an on-off signal when a particular temperature is reached is the bimetal element. Next, position or displacement sensor such as rotary or linear potentiometer. The term position sensor is used for a sensor that gives a measure of the distance between a reference point and the current location of the target, while a displacement sensor gives a measure of the distance between the present position of the target and previously recorded position. Next, output modules. Output module serves as link between PLC's processor and hardware field devices. Okay, so whatever is the output of the program, that is the status of the output devices, will be conveyed from the processor to the actual output devices via these output modules. So each output module has a terminal block for attaching output wiring to go to each individual field output device. Typical output modules have either 8, 16 or 32 output terminals. The output signal, once received from the CPU, must be stored before being sent to each output module's output screw terminals. The storage area for output signals is called as the output status file. So here the connections of output modules are shown. Same output field device is used and wired to the output module. So here triac is shown. Triac switches motor on and off in accordance with the control signal from the processor. So here triac is used as switch along with the motor. Next type of output device is relay. For a relay connected to the output of PLC, when the output switches on, the solenoid magnetic field is produced and this pulls on the contacts and so closes a switch or the switches. The result is that much larger currents can be switched on. Thus, the relay might be used to switch on the current to a motor since it handles larger currents. Next type of output device is directional control valves. So, it uses solenoid as an actuator. The valve may be used to control the directions of the flow of pressurized air or oil and so used to operate other devices such as piston moving in a cylinder. Other types of output devices that are used mostly is motors and stepper motors. So whenever the motor is connected or the stepper motor is connected as the output device to the output side output module of the PLC, they can be operated by using switch in conjunction with it or by the program, by the output of program.